So good morning to everyone and welcome on board again. It's 25th of November and a very special day for us. We have got very special guests today. Within the provision of Introduction to the University Life course, Faculty of Economics and Administrative Science are hosting Ambassador of Panama and Commercial and Cultural Attaché of Panama today. I would like to invite them to the stage and we will start. First, our ambassador of Panama in Turkey, Miss Mariela Saher Rosas, with your clubs, my dears, and our cultural and commercial attaché, Miss Cristina Brustela, and İhsan Erdem Kardam, Associate Professor İhsan Erdem Kayral from our faculty will moderate the session. I hope that you will enjoy the session because we will learn very exciting things about this wonderful country. Thanks in advance, and I am inviting our guests and moderator to the stage.
Hello again. Thank you for participating our panel. We are guesting today's two special guests from Panama, and today we will discuss Panama and Turkey commercial and cultural relations. Actually, our ambassador and our attaché will give important knowledge about their country, but I will give you some information about their country also. This country is a bridge between North and South America. Actually, we know their canal, but in the same time, their economic activities expanding gradually, including with touristic activities and the services sector, including banking sector. And today we are very excited to hosting them. I would like to thank you for your participating, and I will give you some information about our guests, then we will listen their presentations. First of all, I will give you Mariela Sager Rosas, our first guest. She is the ambassador of Panama in our country. Also, the second guest is Cristina Brestella. Also, she is a commercial and cultural attaché in our country. And when we look at our ambassador, I mean Panama government ambassador, she studied in University of Panama. Also, she continued her studies in US and Panama in the same time. She focused on especially architecture, then she focused on marketing activities and project management. And we saw a leadership program in Columbia University in US in the same time in her previous activities, and you can see she worked as a general manager in McCann Erickson. Then she worked also as a minister of government and justice in her country. And when I looked her career, actually she was a well-known columnist, and she wrote too many articles in different areas, including newspapers and different books, actually. And she created a cultural page in 2007 in her country. And this is really important cultural page for Panama in the same time when I look it. And she awarded as Writer of the Year in her country in 2015. And also she is a very versatile person because she collected some arts, I mean as an art collector, and she are writing about cultural activities just like museums and some spatial activities in different countries. Yes, Istanbul. Books. Oh, I'm sorry, books. Also, her books were published in different countries, especially Spanish language countries, in different 14 countries. And when I continue with Kristen Brustella, she's commercial and cultural attaché in Panama. I mean, Embassy of Panama. And she completed her education in Panama and Spain. When I look at, especially she focused on international trade, marketing activities. Also, we are in the same area actually. And she completed French studies in France in the same time in Paris. When I look at, she started her career in Panama. Then she started to work for a department, I mean marketing department in Spain, in Madrid, their capital city. And she started to work for Embassy of Panama for different countries, mostly in Spain. And also you worked in your own country as an attaché, and also Cuba, I mean the capital city of Cuba, Havana. And eventually you attended in our country, Embassy of Panama in Ankara, in Turkey. And you are working since February 2021 in here as a commercial and cultural attaché. I would like to thank you again for participating and accepting our invitation. And we will start with your presentation, dear ambassador. Please. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here so early. And I'm here to present my country, Panama, as a country of opportunities. We start this exposition thanking the OSTİM Technical University for inviting us to make a presentation of Panama. We'll show you an introductory video. Panama, as you might know, belongs geographically to Central America, historically to South America, but our peculiarity is that we are more like a Caribbean country. Located in the narrow part of the American continent, is a meeting point for commercial exchange, for transit between the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean, and most recently, with the development of digital technology, is where most submarine cables cross in order to provide connectivity to the world. The economy of Panama is based mainly on the service sector, which accounts for nearly 80% of its GDP and account for most of its foreign income. Services include the Panama Canal, banking, commerce, the Colón Free Trade Zone, insurance, container ports and flagship registry, medical and health services and tourism. The country's industry includes manufacturing of aircraft spare parts, cement, drinks, adhesives, and textiles. Additionally, exports from Panama include bananas, shrimps, sugar, coffee, pineapples, and clothing. Panama's economy is fully dollarized, with the US dollar being legal tender in the country. The handover of the canal and military installations by the United States has given us rise to large construction projects. We have more than 160 multinational companies, around 20 of them listed in Fortune 500, and countless other enterprises of all sizes, taking advantage of our exceptional business environment in addition to tax, labor, and immigration incentives that are offered through Panama's more than 50 investment regimes. Panama is the gateway to Latin America and the Caribbean. Despite being a service and trade oriented country, Panama is one of only 3 carbon negative countries in the world, setting a standard for other developed countries across the globe. Now we are going to see
Strategy supports
a short
development
video.
that doesn't encroach on biodiversity, scientific research to increase conservation, and creation of jobs that uplift everyone.
A strong financial sector oversight is a critical pillar in Panama's success as a financial center and supports the robustness of its banking sector. Banking legislation is compliant with the Basel core principles. The presence of a single regulator, the Panama Banking Authority, has built a reputation for being a meticulous supervisory body, ensures that banks are closely monitored and fully compliant with regulations. Panama is the headquarters of our national airline, Copa, which is hub of the Americas, located at the Tocumen Airport in Panama City. From Panama, via Copa Airlines, you can reach 86 destinations in America, including the United States and Canada. Turkish Airlines has 10 weekly direct flights from Istanbul to Panama. Panama multinational regimes offers a wide variety of alternatives such as relevance of the Panama hub, air, maritime, logistic, financial center, and communications for the region. The Panamanian port system not only meets Panama import and export needs, it also plays an important role as a logistical center for the region, maritime hub, air hub, technology hub, financial hub. Panama is trusted by multinational companies around the world. You can see some of the logos of the companies, and more. We are going to see more about it in the coming. The main logistical hub is the Panama Canal, of course. Okay. Like Turkey, Panama is one of the best connected countries in the world by sea routes and air routes and connection through telecommunications. Panama has the broadest network of commercial trade agreements in the region with 23 free trade agreements accessing 23 countries. Some of the companies that benefit from the digital hub based in Panama are the ones that you saw already in the previous slide. But of course, the main logistical hub is the Panama Canal. Besides the Panama Canal accounting for 6% of the world trade, there are 152 ports in 54 countries sending and receiving cargo directly through the Panama Canal. It has the two most active ports in Latin America, one on each ocean. The air hub has 20 destinations in 39 countries, America, Europe, and Asia, including Istanbul 10 times a week, as I said. Panama is a strategic region for nearshoring. Nearshoring, when a business moves its operation to a nearby country from one of greater distance in order to lower its cost. The benefits that it brings are proximity to the United States market, better control over process, reduced transportation costs, a robust supply chain configuration. Now we are working on becoming a pharmaceutical hub. Given its established status as a logistic hub, Panama wants to capitalize on its advantage to expand its opportunities in the pharmaceutical industry and serve as a distribution hub for the Central America and Caribbean nations, which are becoming more and more significant in the context of Latin America. The three main areas of developing these hubs are the following: value-added process and distribution, clinical trials, domestic manufacturing of medicines, and then we're going to see a short video that shows our digital hub.
The world's top CEOs agree that a company's success hinges on the strength of its supply chain. Today, 181 multinationals have chosen Panama as a gateway to more than 1 billion potential customers in the Americas. As a premier logistics hub, multinationals can trade, transport, and manufacture goods through the Panama Canal, 5 modern ports, and a globally connected airport, while using advanced digital and financial networks to safely move information and money. With a proven record for economic, political, and social stability, Panama is also a smart option for the nearshoring of manufacturing closer to home. Panama has been at the center of the global supply chain for over 500 years and is a welcoming melting pot of cultures and nationalities.
Eight fiber optics cables pass through Panama. 10% of regional internet traffic goes through these cables, 97% international voice traffic, and 90% of data transmission. Panama also offers permanent residence for qualified investors. And there are special economic zones and laws like multinational headquarters that has a special regime for the establishment of multinational headquarters companies that operate as a foreign company registered in Panama or as a Panamanian company owned by a transnational company. Its objective is to provide services to their main office or subsidiary in other countries from Panama. We have the City of Knowledge, for example. It's a special economic zone that hosts an international community of academic organizations, technological companies, innovative startups, and non-governmental organizations, focused on serving as a knowledge platform, boosting innovative and competitive capacities of its members. The City of Knowledge is appropriate for biological science and technology, products, research and development and innovation, education and human development, creative industry. Let me add here that the City of Knowledge is located in what was the last military base that reverted to Panama. So it's a message that 120 hectares that were dedicated to war before by the United States now is dedicated to as a lighthouse of knowledge, which is very important. We also have the Colón Free Zone located in the province of Colón at the Atlantic entrance to the Panama Canal, founded in 1946. It's the largest trade zone in the Americas, renowned for its highly connected multimodal platform. It is supported by a variety of logistic and financial services that controls its connectivity to improve the cargo flow to regional markets. The Colón Free Trade Zone is appropriate for logistics services, imports, exports, re-exportation, repackaging, storage, sales, and redistribution, refinement, and processing. Panama Pacifico, a special economic zone that serves as a hub for high-tech manufacturing, logistics services, commercial activities, and non-traditional services, with an eco-friendly residential area containing dedicated areas for warehousing and distribution centers, manufacturing, commercial offices, airport operation, and residential area located near the Pacific entrance of the Panama Canal. Panama Pacifico is appropriate for logistic services, electronic processing, manufacturing, aviation, and maritime services, headquarters, and services for business. The free trade zone is a special regime that contributes to the economic development to the country and promotes foreign investment. They can be established anywhere in the country, and currently there are 12 active free zones and 6 in development. They are appropriate for manufacturing, assembling, processing or finished or semi-finished products, high-tech enterprises, higher education, and research centers, environments, logistics, health, and other services. There is also another opportunity for manufacturing services for multinational companies. That is a special regime created for the establishment of light manufacturing and repackaging fulfillment centers in Panama. It's appropriate for manufacturing, assembly, maintenance, remanufacturing, and conditioning of product and equipment, product development, research, or innovations of existing products or processes, analysis, laboratory work, or testing related to manufacturing services, logistic activities such as storage, deployment, and distribution of components required for the provision of manufacturing-related services. We also have Panama Film Commission, the CINE. It's a special set of laws and programs meant to incentivize foreign film productions in Panama. I wonder if in Turkey we can invite the big industry of cereals that you have here. Agroparks is created was created by the law 196 of 2021 that creates a special regime for the establishment of operating and development of agropark companies and dictates provisions for her operation. The agroparks pillars are market intelligence, which promote the country brand with the support of the Panama export programs, technical assistance to producers to identify markets and comply with global gap certification standards, and technology and innovation with the participation of national and international centers. It is very important to remark that Panama has a totally legal stability for investment. Now we can see a testimony of the companies that has established in Panama.
Dell opened its doors in Panama in 2003 as a customer contact center representing the first operation of the company in Central America. We decided to establish in the country due to its economic and political stability, security, strategic geographic location, and availability of highly qualified professionals. Our operation in Panama has been noteworthy for the growth of the company's business in Latin America, allowing us to help our customers and partners to develop and transform their businesses.
Hello. At Liberty Latin America, we're excited about the future with the heart of our operations in Panama. We have proudly been involved in the Panamanian market for many years. And we have seen the nation evolve into a digital hub for Latin America. I look forward to continuing this productive partnership as we seek to connect the unconnected and bring further growth and development for both our company and the nation of Panama.
In Panama, OpenBlue is reinventing the way to responsibly feed the world, using the latest R&D technology mixed with a strong ethos of environmental stewardship and community support.
Hello, my name is David Taylor, and I serve as the Chairman, President, and CEO of the Procter & Gamble Company. Today, Panama hosts our Latin American headquarters and also serves as our Central American and Caribbean markets headquarters, in addition to other distributor-based operations. Critical strategic decisions that impact our entire operations in Latin America are made in Panama, which hosts the largest number of P&G senior executives in the region. In Panama, we have found a business-friendly environment, and we're able to work successfully and very closely with 4 different Panamanian government administrations. We are thankful to Panama and its people for hosting us for the past 11 years, and we look forward to many more years together.
In Panama, our partnership has a few specific goals clearly aligned to the digital hub strategy of the national government. Financial inclusion remains job number 1. We'll be implementing payment technologies across the public sector to support this and Panama's digital transformation process. Now more than ever, financially excluded populations need our help. Last year, we doubled down on financial inclusion and committed to bring 1 billion people, 50 million small businesses, and 25 million women-run businesses into the digital economy. At MasterCard, we continue to find new ways to live up to our commitment to rebuilding a more inclusive and sustainable economy that opens up opportunities, not divides.
I want to finish this presentation highlighting that Panama is known worldwide as having one of the most important wonders of engineering, the Panama Canal. Conceived by the French, who started to build it by the end of the 19th century, it was completed by the United States and finished in 1914. It was expanded at the beginning of this century, and it was the works of expansion finished on 2016. After a long struggle to recover the control of its most precious asset that the country has, its strategic geographical position, it was handed over successfully on the last day of the 20th century to Panamanians. Along the route of the Panama Canal, a multimodal logistics system works to unite 2 oceans and the rest of the world. And I invite you now to see a video of the Panama Canal that is subtitled in Turkish.
This one.
Okay.
Yes. I'm trying. What the heck? Our technician is coming for this situation.
When the Isthmus of Panama emerged from the sea, it generated a great exchange of animal and plant species between North and South America, which changed life on our planet forever. Two very different oceans were also formed. The first routes through the isthmus were created by Native Americans, and they were land routes. In 1501, during the expedition of the notary of Triana, Rodrigo de Bastidas, the Spanish conquerors arrived in Panama for the first time. In 1513, natives guided Vasco Núñez de Balboa to the South Sea, and the small bridge between North and South America quickly became a strategic axis for international trade. The first city of the American continent was founded on the Pacific Ocean of Panama. The idea of excavating a maritime channel to join the two oceans goes back to the 15th century. Kings and sailors of Spain, Portugal, Scotland, and England once thought about it. By a decree issued in 1534, Emperor Charles V ordered to survey a route to the Pacific following the Chagres River. This was the first survey carried out for the construction of a canal through Panama. However, the canal had to wait. Construction of the Trans-Isthmian Railroad began in 1850. The gold rush in California further increased the movement of settlers to the west, using the Panama route. In 1855, the railway was ready. 75 kilometers of tracks from Colón on the Atlantic coast to Panama in the Pacific. Finally, in 1880, France undertook the construction of a sea-level canal in Panama. Ferdinand de Lesseps, the legendary builder of the Suez Canal, was in charge of the works. After 20 years of work and of struggling with an inhospitable climate, an unconquerable jungle, diseases, and financial problems, the French abandoned the Titanic mission to unite the North and South Seas. Soon after, the United States bought the French Canal Company of Panama its rights and properties for $40 million. And in 1904, works were resumed. Nearly 184 million cubic meters of material were excavated. More than 3.4 million cubic meters of concrete were poured, and 3 sets of locks were built. The waters of the Chagres River were dammed to create Gatun Lake, which at the time was the largest artificial lake in the world. There were more than 45,000 workers, men and women, mostly from the West Indies. And on August 15, 1914, the Panama Canal was inaugurated. The work cost the United States government approximately $375 million, including the $10 million paid to Panama and the $40 million paid to the French company. The Panama Canal was the most expensive construction project in the history of the United States at the time. From 1914 and for 85 years, the United States operated and administrated the Panama Canal. The United States also exercised government control over the adjacent areas of the waterway. On December 31, 1999, and in compliance with the Torrijos-Carter treaties, the Panama Canal was transferred to Panama. Since then, Panama has been managing and operating the interoceanic route. The proposal to expand the canal's operational infrastructure was approved in a national referendum. The expansion project proposal presented to the country entailed the building of 2 new sets of locks, one on the Pacific and the other on the Atlantic, capable of accommodating more and bigger ships. And again, it was necessary to dig, deepen, and design locks. More than 150 million cubic meters of material were excavated and dredged. 192,000 tons of steel were required, more than 4.5 million cubic meters of concrete for the construction of the new locks, and more than 40,000 workers. The new traffic lane along the canal was inaugurated on June 26, 2016. It has 2 new sets of locks, each with 3 levels. Agua Clara on the Atlantic and Cocoli on the Pacific. The new locks have a modern system of rolling gates and 3 water-saving basins for each level. The expansion doubles the canal's capacity, and it has a direct impact on economies of scale and international maritime trade. Container ships are the main users of the new locks, followed by liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) carriers and liquefied natural gas (LNG) carriers. Other segments such as bulk carriers, tankers, car carriers, and passenger ships also transit through the new locks. The new locks can accommodate Neo-Panamax vessels with a maximum capacity of 13,000 to 14,000 TEUs. Throughout the years, for over 100 years, the Panama Canal has favorably impacted Panama's economy and of many other countries and regions of the world. However, the construction of this huge work, which further increases the economic and commercial advantages for Panama and the world, has also left, from its beginnings, significant contributions to scientific knowledge. Important geological findings were made during the canal expansion works that have changed what is known and taught. Until very recently, it was believed that the Isthmus of Panama had emerged from the sea 3.5 million years ago. But some findings made during expansion works excavations revealed something else. The connection of North and South America occurred more than 10 million years ago. Important archaeological and paleontological findings were also made during the expansion works. Among these findings are the huge chimney of a centennial incinerator discovered in the vicinity of Gatun Lake, air raid shelters, wagons, bottles from the beginning of the last century, and a dagger, which was a common use weapon between 1590 and 1610. These findings provide a basis for countless important research. Thanks to its geographical position, Panama is one of the most important logistics centers in the region. There are 80 kilometers and hundreds of routes crossing it. The Panama Canal is connectivity. And the expanded canal is driving the growth of the service sector, creating new business opportunities to further increase the competitive advantages of our country and the benefits for all Panamanians and the world. Additionally, the Panama Canal is the green route. The Panama Canal route offers the maritime industry the opportunity to transport greater volumes of cargo using fewer ships. This has a significant effect on the reduction of CO2 emissions by requiring fewer cargo movements as compared to other transportation systems. With the expanded canal, it is estimated that the Panama route will reduce more than 160 million tons of CO2 in the first 10 years of operation. The prints of each of the men and women who built the Panama Canal, as well as of those who with their ingenuity, talent, and will are still building it, are kept in its waters, in its stones, and in its memory. The Panama Canal is the proof that dreams are possible when there are many fighting to make dreams come true.
In order to have this presentation complete, Madame Cristina Brostella, the Commercial and Cultural Attaché of the Embassy, is going to talk to you about the activities that we have developed in the commercial and cultural area here in Turkey, and more to come. Thank you very much.
Shall I start? No, the presentation.
I would like to thank you, our ambassador. Yes,
Yes.
She will continue. Thank you for your presentation. It was a really brief and it was a good presentation. We know too many acknowledgement after your presentation about your country. Thank you for your presentation, and we will continue with cultural attaché. Okay. After her presentation, we will take Q&A part. Please, thank you so much.
Yes. Hello. I will be very, very quick. Since we're here, we've had cultural activities at the embassy. First, the bicentennial. Last year, we had the celebration of the 200 years of independence from Spain, and the countries of Peru, Costa Rica, Salvador, Guatemala, Brazil, Mexico, and Panama celebrated here several events. One of them was a gastronomic tasting. We also had a concert at the CSO, and also very important, in Istanbul, we had a presentation of the National Archives, which were exhibitions of historical documents from the exchange of the Ottoman Empire. We also had the presentation of the history behind the Historia de un Amor. I'm sure everyone here has listened to this song of the history, Historia de un Amor. We had the presentation of it because the author is Panamanian. We had it here in Ankara and in Istanbul. And during the presidency of SICA, Panama had the presidency. SICA are the Central American countries and Dominican Republic. We had a movie festival in Ankara, and also this year we have been granted from the mayor's office in Ankara a park commemorating the treaties of the Torrijos-Carter signing, which gave us back the Panama Canal. So this is it. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, dear Ateshi. Actually, we learned too much about Panama today. They are using as their currency US dollar. They have more than 4 million people as population. In addition to their canal, they have really good companies in their countries, and they have a big potential to reach a bigger economy. When I look your statistics, actually, your rankings will change according to different index, but more than 50s for GDP levels, GDP per capita especially. And with this big potential, I hope we will make some collaborations, and we will work together. I hope that. And thank you for your attendance again. If you have any questions to our ambassador and our attaché, I would like to give you word for your questions. Any questions? Okay. If we have a microphone, okay. Okay.
First of all, thank you very much for such a fruitful seminar. I have one question. Is there any Turkish company located in Panama? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear friend.
We can hear.
Actually, there are several companies established at the colon-free zone. Some of them are, are dealing with textiles and also beauty products. We have a presentation. We had received the visit of the manager of the colon-free zone in June, July, and we have a presentation for a date in Istanbul for companies that were interested in establishing Panama. The advantages of establishing in Panama is not the market, because our market is kind of small, but to establish in the colon-free zone, you have a warehouse and from them you distribute to all America. And that has been the key of success of the Chinese. That's why now Turkey is looking for being more present in the colon-free zone, and we are promoting that. Besides that, the colon-free zone is it has a very interesting project that is called Nations Park. Nations Park is like a permanent exhibition of products, not only for that you don't only have to wait for Expo Comer to be present. Expo Comer is a trade show that is celebrated every year, and Turkey this year has the largest pavilion. But a Nations Park is like a permanent exhibition, and now we are working on forming a group of companies that would establish the Turkey pavilion in Nations Park at the colon-free zone. But yes, there are Turkish companies, and they are very, very satisfied. And so we are promoting to have more.
Thank you so much, your question and your answer. Actually, Panama we saw too many corporations in your country, and your canal construction process was really impressive, especially after geographical discoveries in 16th century. Spain came to your country, but then US controlled the canal, and after 1999 you controlled it. It's really important, but not enough by using canal to your country. In addition to canal, of course, you have touristic attractives, and you have too many companies in your country. We saw some of them, and their CEOs gave some explanations about it. Okay, another question. Okay, please.
Can you hear my voice?
Okay.
Are you
Yes,
planning
yes,
to increase the capacity of Panama Canal? Are you planning to increase the capacity of Panama Canal?
The new canal, the expanded canal.
Yep, expanding its capacity.
Yeah, the thing is that the old canal, it was built at the beginning of, or was finished at the beginning of the 20th century. At some point, the Panamax, the big transportation, especially for cars and for transportation, big transportation could not fit in the canal. That's why it was expanded, and it has expanded about, I believe, about 50% on the new locks in the new locks. And also, it's very important to remark here that the water in the expanded canal is reusable. It's not a waste of water, because in the old canal, or the canal, the two lakes that was mentioned there, that are artificial lakes, are of sweet water, they are not salt water. So that the water that the canal use is when a ship cross the canal, then that water is thrown into the ocean. But now with the new canal, the new technology uh, permits us to reuse that water.
Much appreciated. Thanks.
Thank you for your question
I think
and
we
your
have
answer.
one more question.
Okay.
You have question, right?
My dear.
Hello, my name is Luca. I'm just curious. Nice presentation. Do you have opportunities for foreign students in connection to Panama? Like, how can we take advantage of some of the things you talked about? I saw on your slide, you said unemployment rate is really low. So it means there might be job opportunities out there. Like most of us foreign students, as we know in Turkey, there's really not enough opportunities. We would like to know, do you have opportunities for foreign students that we could take advantage of when we finish college like this?
Yeah, it's a very good question because I was talking to the vice dean about subscribing an agreement between a university in Panama and this university. That's the first step that we have to take. For example, in the City of Knowledge, this university, if you want, you can establish a branch in the City of Knowledge.
Of course, of course.
And for target areas like environment or technology or very very target areas. And once you are there, then you are able then to become part of the employment force of companies that require a specialized force. But it's not that you are going to finish here and then go there and ask for a job. No, you have to go through the process of being in the market or being specialized in something that we need in the country. You're welcome.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. One more question. Okay.
I have a question to Christina. I think you have spent more than 2 years in Ankara. When you compare Panama and Turkey, did you see any similarities between the cultural aspect of Panama and Turkey? Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the similarities is that we have several oceans. It's a maritime country. You have the Bosphorus, the canal, the Turkish canal. We have the Panama Canal. Cultural, maybe not that much, but the food is different. I don't know. It's the human relations. Yes, people from Turkey are very friendful, very helpful. We have been received here. We are here very happy. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any questions? More?
I wanted to remark something that I was talking at the beginning with someone that was when we arrived.
I'm not sure
Well,
who is.
He was talking to me about the figure of Omar Torrijos, the one that signed the treaties. Maybe I didn't mention that because it's not the issue, but as when the United States decided to finish the canal, besides being the owners of the canal because they pay for it, they also had 10 miles on one side and 10 miles on the other side of the canal as a territory of them. So it was the canal zone. In that zone, they have a government, they have postal service, they have jails, they have everything. It was like a colony inside the country, and that was very unrestful for us. I mean, it was something that from the very beginning started a struggle that lasted more than 70 years. And when Omar Torrijos came to power, he decided that was his main task, to get back the Panama Canal. And he did it with a lot of help from people, from presidents of other countries, from intellectuals, from writers, even from John Wayne, the actor. He was the one that most that lobbied most in the Senate. So the Panama Canal was approved. The treaties were approved at the Senate. It's difficult for a country like the United States to accept or to return something to a country.
Yes.
Cuba has not been successful on getting back Guantanamo, for example, but we did it. We did it, and I want to share with you that this year in September we commemorated the 45-year anniversary of the signature of the treaty. It was not immediate, of course, because the canal zone has many, many things inside. Actually, it was supposed to defend the canal, but the United States had there more than 14 military bases, and they were not defending only the canal. They were defending their interests and also supervising what was going on in the region. So after the signature, there was a process of 23 years until we received totally. It was like a progress. Every year we received something and something and something. And the last base that we received, and I was present at that time because I was minister, was the Clayton base. And that was the one that was dedicated to the City of Knowledge. So it's very important that you keep in mind that that we are handling the canal. Everybody said that Panamanians were not able to manage the canal, and we have proved. The United States only pay like $1 million for renting all the lands that they have in our country a year to Panama, and now the Panama Canal gives to our government more than $1 billion per year. So you have to keep in mind that a small country like us got that, and that was very, very an important issue in the history.
Thank you for your explanation. Actually, it was a successful story because U.S. built up, and according to statistics you gave in video, more than $375 million. But we have to think about this money for these years. I mean, building up years conditions. It's nominal value.
They recovered that money, I think, the first 10 years maybe, and they kept making money out of the canal without Panamanians receiving anything.
It's really hard to take back actually. Yeah. So you completed this process because this is a really important bridge between Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. In the same time, you separated into Northern South America. Your position is really strategic.
Yeah, but the message here is that if we could have done it now with this conflict of Russia and Ukraine, I always say mediation, negotiation is the way, not the violent way. And we did it. We confronted, the most important country, the stronger country in the world, and so that's and we are going to have a space here in Ankara, a park that is going to be called Torrijos Carter Treaties very soon.
Okay, thank you for your contribution and attendance. If we don't have more questions, we will complete our panel. Okay, of course.
Thank you for a beautiful presentation. I am very surprised that learned to History de Number is a Panamanian song. It's the first dance song of 90% of Turkish weddings. I thought that it was a Spanish song, but I learned that it's a Panamanian.
Historia de un amor?
Yes, History de un Amor. It's very famous in Turkey for weddings.
I know.
It's very surprise for me.
We had a like a happening. I don't think you were there. I don't yeah, you were there. We have a happening in Ankara and also in Istanbul. We have a version of about 50 that different artists or singers singing, and in audio, and about 12 videos. And if you want, I can give it to you. Give a USB with all that information. It's a very sad story, and it was composed by the Panamanian because the wife of his brother was pregnant, and while she was pregnant, she had polio, and she gave birth to a girl. Actually, that girl was with me at school, and the girl was born with polio also. And this woman died six days after gave birth. So the brother, her brother-in-law, composed that song just with not being a musician, just by ear. And the next year that it was already famous, and 2 years after that it became a movie in Mexico. So everybody since then, and this is one of the most wealthy family in Panama, and they have dedicated all the royalties to eradicate polio in Panama and in other countries. So it's a sad story, but it's also a beautiful story.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your questions and your valuable answers. And end of this panel, our Vice Dean, Associate Professor Hakan Eren, will give you some thank you gifts. And please come in, Professor. Okay. Okay. Please take photo, dear friends. Thank you. Thank you for your presentations and your participation. Thank you for your contribution, dear friends. And we will close the panel. Thank you.